Hashtag Flaccid, yo. Talking about the 2020 Wrestling Observer Awards. Okay, the Wrestling Observer, obviously a newsletter that is created by Dave Meltzer, right? Dave Meltzer, a very veteran name in the pro wrestling industry, as far as a writer, a wrestling reporter.
He has been following the industry since the 80s and reporting on every single match and big event. So, yeah, he's definitely a long time guy.
I have to give Jim Cornette a huge shout out because he mentioned something on his podcast. I was listening to it earlier in the week, right? He was talking about how Dave Meltzer back in the day, in the 80s, like you mentioned, he was like the champion for like proper wrestling, like, you know, because this was when the WWE, if you think about it, was all gimmick, hokey clowns and shit. He was writing about like your flares. He was the champion of like the workers, looking at Japan and who are the top workers, right? Which is so weird. Look at him now. He's championing the clowns at AEW.
I don't know, man.
If you think about it, it's like it is now cool to like the alternate. So he's always been the alternative. Right, he reports on the alternative and shits on the mainstream. So now it has completely turned the other way.
I mean, he's never been a big WWE supporter because I remember he rarely gives out his 5-star matches to WWE. Like in the entire history of WWE, he only gave 5 stars 2 matches.
Right.
If I'm not wrong, one 5-star was obviously Hell in a Cell between Shawn Michaels and Undertaker back in 1997.
Yeah.
And the next one was CM Punk, John Cena in 2011 Money in the Bank.
I can say that these awards are obviously they're voted on. It's not like a panel of experts. It's fans of the newsletter. So it's already a very narrow fan base. People who only listen and read his stuff vote on this, so you can understand why the results as they are as they are. So are you ready?
Is it just fans or are there wrestlers and promoters as well that is voting?
No, it's just the readers of the newsletter.
Okay, readers. Okay, got it.
So, like, I mean, it's quite obvious why some of these results are the way they are. So we start off with the Luthez / Ric Flair Award, Wrestler of the Year. Jon Moxley.
Okay, let's be objective. Let's be objective.
Okay.
Why do you think he was voted? Why do you think he made it to number 1?
Objectively, it's because only AEW fans read this shit. No, that's really why the results are the way they are. I mean, Wrestler of the Year. You compare that to Ric Flair and Luthez, Jon Moxley. Like, okay, what feuds has he been in 2020 that are so outstanding, other than the Jericho one?
In
Eddie
the whole
Kingston?
of 2020, he was the AEW World Heavyweight Champion for 10 out of those 12 months, correct?
Yeah.
So he defended all his championship ring he won until he dropped it to Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
So I would say objectively he had a great year. Okay, so I guess he was the flagship guy, number 1 guy in AEW for majority of the year.
Yeah.
My issue is not that he doesn't deserve it. My issue is I think there's other people that's more deserving. I would say Drew McIntyre had a better year.
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Like, Drew McIntyre, for me, like, his promos improve drastically. His matches, great improvement drastically. Jon Moxley's just been doing the same thing over and over and again, and his character is just not very compelling.
I would dare say Jon Moxley had a better 2019 than 2020. Even though he won the title in 2020, 2019 he had killer matches in Japan.
Yes.
You know, he went to Japan. He had a great G1 climax performance. He was he had a great match in AEW, that great debut. So he had all the hype in 2019. 2020 was a culmination, but I guess it was more of like smooth sailing all the way.
Yeah, exactly. This being said, though, like 2020, probably not the best year for pro wrestling to begin with. Everyone was trying to pivot, trying to figure out how to do things. But yeah, I agree with you that Drew McIntyre should have won this, but you're going to rarely see a WWE wrestler given their props in this voting, huh? Let's be honest.
We have to put a caveat that the fact that it's a pandemic, so we'll take that into account. Secondly, now that you brought it up, we have to take into account that they are Dave Meltzer's readers.
Yeah, they are essentially all brainwashed. Okay, brainwashed is a harsh word.
Do you think WWE fans would legit subscribe to a wrestling newsletter They got fucking social media. They're watching everything on YouTube.
Yeah.
Whatever poll that they're voting on is the poll that WWE put on their Insta stories.
And of course, then you will have your smart saying, they are just a bunch of sheep. They, they don't know what real wrestling is. So it is what it is.
You wanna use that line? I would say then Naito would have had a better year. What?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Naito won the double championship last year. He held the title all the way. Okay, he dropped it for a while to Evil, but only for like 1 or 2 pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Then he carried all the way until this year's Wrestle Kingdom.
Bro, it's quite obvious lah. This Dave Meltzer and his fan base uncutting this Tony Khan's balls like nobody's business because they cater to them.
It's like the new shiny toy after New Japan.
Yeah, it's a mutually beneficial relationship. If you think about it, because WWE is never going to give them props or give them the shine, whereas Tony Khan will. So they should support each other, right? It makes sense. All right, let's move on. Moth, alamak. I'm so upset that I can't speak.
You become Mike Tyson already, bro.
Yeah. My favorite wrestler, Cold Stone. Here we go then. Most outstanding wrestler, Kenny Omega.
Okay, so this is one of my biggest question. What is the difference between Wrestler of the Year and Most Outstanding Wrestler?
I don't know. Okay, Ric Flair Award, maybe it's like the total package. Maybe it's in-ring plus like promo skills plus
box
gimmick.
Office draw.
John Moxley is not a fucking... Oh, that's my one F word. Not a box office draw. Okay, I'm just going to say he's not.
But I guess is that what you're trying to say by the difference between those awards? Like one is like for overall number one wrestler in wrestling, and then this outstanding wrestler is like he was the best wrestling worker. Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't know. I don't really care because it's just another way to give AEW props, to be honest. I mean, there's no doubt that Kenny Omega is an outstanding wrestler. But in 2020, was he the most outstanding wrestler? Because there was a huge before he started his title run, he was kind of like meh. He was here and you know what I mean? He was not here, not there.
When he dropped his tag team championship with Hangman Page, he had that feud with Hangman Page, and then like maybe like halfway through the year, then he started building up into this current like title collector gimmick, crazy ass OG OP wrestler.
Very quickly, Div Royalty says WWE fans got the bump, no need newsletter. And Lavin says AEW fans go to WWE pages just to give troll comments, but it gives the WWE more interactions than the AEW. That's
You're
so
right,
true.
man. You're absolutely right. Bro, Bad Bunny, bro. Bad Bunny is the most outstanding wrestler.
Oh, no.
You know,
stop
number
it.
one, he got a box office draw.
Yeah.
He draws more than all of wrestling.
Yeah. He's like Spotify king.
Yeah. Hey, you want to give a very random statistic, bro?
Sure.
The season premiere of The Rock's Young Rock TV show drew 5 million viewers.
What?
You know what that means, right?
What?
Both in all of wrestling, all the wrestling TV shows combined, right? Still pale in comparison to the number of viewers that Young Rock had.
I mean, to be fair, everyone remembers The Rock from the Attitude Era. This was, I mean, you can't even compare The Rock, like the Attitude Era to the product now on any platform. The Attitude Era wins, right? And then, of course, The Rock is Dwayne Johnson. He's a movie star.
The point I guess I'm trying to make is The Rock is bigger than wrestling at this point.
100. He's talking about running for president of USA and everything. So, yeah. I would love for him to run, to be honest. Like, he looks like the kind of guy that puts his 100% in everything. So, you know, if he became president, he would put 100% in that.
Hey, bro, like the bar is so low now, man. Like fucking Trump after Trump is like anyone who's just halfway decent and it's a good guy, I think is already a win over Trump.
Correct.
Which is Joe Biden, lah.
Yeah, Joe Biden.
But anyway,
The Rock is not going to have time to work out though if he became president. So maybe he shouldn't, huh?
Okay, away from politics, right? What I meant is Young Rock. It's just a comedy show, half an hour TV show, has more viewers than the wrestling. And we talk about box office draw. Is there anyone in wrestling? And I know that WWE has pivoted and tried to make WWE the brand, the draw, right? But like, I don't see anyone who's like a box office draw. Like, okay, his match, no matter what match he's in, will be the one that people sign up and watch the show for.
Nope, nobody. Certainly not John Moxley. So anyway, I guess. Okay, this is gonna be a fun one. Tag Team of the Year. Bro, do you know who the Tag Team of the Year are? Oh, I think he's we got foreign frozen for a little bit right there. Okay.
Yeah. I can't Sub-Zero, bro.
Sub-Zero. We were talking about the tag team of the year. No surprise here. I mean, they even name a move after the Meltzer man himself, the Meltzer
Young
driver.
Bucks.
Of course, it's the Young Bucks. Are you surprised?
Okay, wait. Now here's me trying to pick logic into it. Young Bucks only won the title, I think, was it at All Out last year? Probably, yeah, I think All Out. That was what, in September?
Yep.
Before that, what were they doing?
Bro,
I would dare say FTR had a better year than Young Bucks.
Bro, it's very obvious. This is not an objective. I can objectively say this is not an objective list, okay? Like maybe they should just cancel this whole tag team of the year category because there were no tag teams that stood out.
There wasn't.
No, none at all.
There wasn't. I mean, Hurt Business, it's like technically it's a faction.
Yeah, it's not a tag team. Yeah,
it's not a tag team. Street Profits held the title go a couple of times, but all not memorable. Unless you're talking about the Viking Raiders and them trading football and basketball, and maybe that's memorable. But nah,
this award is like the best of the worst. So I mean, whatever.
What was interesting was when AEW first started out and they said they were going to champion tag team wrestling.
Sure.
Okay. In 2019, the way they highlighted like the Lucha Bros, they had that crazy ass match with Young Bucks at All Out was amazing. They had the SCU was great. They were the first tag team champions. Which I like that choice because it's like it's clear that they're not playing favoritism. They're not going to give Young Bucks the title straight away. Yep. They built up another so-called veteran team that deserve it. Luchasaurus, what do you call it? The Jurassic Express was building up. I felt like that 2019-2020 sweet spot before the pandemic, they were in a good role. I would definitely have to admit. But in 2020 itself, even if you look at it objectively, right, Young Bucks didn't have a good year, only had a good last quarter of the year.
Yep. I mean, look, this goes back to the very first thing I said about AEW when we first started watching Dynamite in their first few episodes. They don't know how to build characters, right? They don't know how to build long-term things. They just throw everything out there, and then now they are stuck at the ceiling because they can't go higher, and you have a bunch of characters that people don't really care about. So,
are you saying that they are getting found out?
Yeah,
like,
they are.
This is the limit of their so-called show attraction?
Yeah, like they did well on the indies because you only go to an indie show once in a while. You don't go every week. You don't watch one on TV every week, right? Now that they have to put out product every single week, they're realizing, oh shit, we need to not like throw everything out there and then next week, what the hell are we going to do?
Yeah, how are you going to fill out 52 weeks of TV?
Yeah, exactly. So now they're starting to realize this. Let's move on then. Best on interviews. Okay, this one I can agree. He has, I feel, really good interview skills. It's just that, they dropped the ball out with his booking. Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one I can agree.
But Eddie Kingston, if you're talking solely about interview skills, yes, he's a great interview. But other than his story with John Moxley, what has he done since?
Nothing. Absolutely zilch nada.
Jack shit.
Jack shit is right. Okay, but let's look at the WWE side of things. Who there is like a compelling... actually, I already know one name in my head.
Yeah, I already have it in my head. So I think you're going to say the same thing. Ever since Roman Reigns came back.
Oh, you were going to go with Roman Reigns. Okay, I was going to go with MVP.
Oh, yeah. Okay, MVP is a great promo guy. But in terms of character, ever since Roman Reigns came back, he has been the most compelling guy on the mic.
True that. Okay, maybe best character then, because I guess this is best on interview. So I guess technically, yeah. But I mean, I won't argue this. Eddie Kingston is good on interviews, so there you go. I won't argue that.
He's good, but is he the best this year? I don't know.
Mean, he's the best for this fan base anyway.
He's the best in AEW lah.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Promotion of the year. Gee, I wonder. Okay, let's not even...
Is it New Japan?
No, fuck no. It's AEW. AEW is the new shiny toy that plays with fans. Best weekly TV show.
NWA Power?
Fuck off. It's AEW Dynamite. Of course. We don't need to go into that because, to be honest, AEW Dynamite, they've had good shows, but it's... I would give that to NXT, honestly. Best weekly TV show. Chat, what do you think? Tell us your best weekly TV show. Like NXT to me is the must watch. Everything else can kind of slip.
You know, I would even make a case for SmackDown being the best TV show
after
ever since Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Post Roman Reigns, right? I think the product has been very, very focused and well stocked in every division.
Yes, true. Referee Ryan, how you doing, man? He just swung by saying, "What did I miss, bro? You miss us talking about AEW Revolution." Now we are talking about the Wrestling Observer 2020 awards, and we're sort of
we are putting out in the chat group because we were just talking about the best weekly TV show, and the Observer Awards gave it to AEW Dynamite. So do you agree, or which TV show do you think deserves the accolade even more?
Lavin says NXT for life. You know, hell yeah.
For sure.
Let's move on then to Pro Wrestling Match of the Year. Referee Ryan also says NXT for life. Okay, Pro Wrestling Match of the Year. The Young Bucks versus Adam Page and Kenny Omega, AEW Revolution 2020. It should be up there, but I don't know if it was Pro Wrestling Match of the Year.
You know what? If you talk about the best tag team match in this year, this past year, it was that match. It was even better than the Young Bucks and FTR match, for sure.
But Pro Wrestling Match of the Year?
Okay, was there a one-on-one match that was better? I would dare say that there are, from even in New Japan, even Wrestle Kingdom, there were better matches.
Like definitely NXT, Walter. Walter versus
Ilya Dragunov. Remember that match?
Yes.
Holy shit, that match was amazing. Okay, Dave Meltzer, he's a hipster, right? That match would have appealed to him, what?
Yeah, but you see, he's a hipster, but like I said, I don't want to say he's a gender, but it bodes well for him that he angkat AEW's balls. AEW gives him, the shine. So it's like a mutually workable relationship. So I'm not surprised all his fans also follow him.
I would say the best tag team match this past year was that match, honestly.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Like bell to bell, like for that 20-30 minutes, like it was just a great story being told.
Tag team match, but not the wrestling match of the year. Also, Shadow says, is this the Simp Awards? Yes, if you simp for AEW, this is it.
Yeah, apparently no Maki Ito on this award, so no simping on our side, unfortunately. Bro, like in my opinion, the bias is so clear.
It's very clear, and like we are trying to be as objective as possible, even me, right? And it shows. Okay, US Canada MVP John Moxley, like whatever. I don't know why this is an award.
So basically, the best North American wrestler, That's what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah, like everyone in NXT probably deserves this better. Let's move on. Japanese MVP is Naito. This one, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Naito had a banner year, definitely in 2020.
Mexico MVP Rey Fenix. Most well known for sure.
Honestly, I'm being very honest, I don't really know a lot of Mexican wrestlers in like Lucha Libre right now. Rey Fenix definitely in terms of the new generation, one of the most well known. So,
wait, hold on. What about Dominic Mysterio? Okay, no, I'm kidding. If anything, he should be United States MVP, or I mean not MVP, but he's not in that category lah. Because he grew up in the US.
Maybe promising newcomer lah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Europe MVP Volta.
Yes.
That one cannot argue.
No questions about that.
The Hodge Award. I don't know what the Hodge Award is. The non-heavyweight MVP. Takahashi, non-heavyweight MVP. So what?
Okay. I think they're referring to Don Hodge. So Don Hodge is a very well-known. I think in the 60s he was like a very critically acclaimed wrestler who wasn't a heavyweight.
Okay.
So he's like a middleweight, or basically he's like the Malenko Award lah. Fuck.
Okay, yeah,
Takahashi,
sure.
he's a great cruiserweight. So
Sure. It's not Adam Cole. I'm sure it's not friggin' what's his face, Johnny Gargano. None of those guys.
Finn Balor.
Finn Balor. Nah, fuck those guys, man. All right. Interestingly enough. Well, I mean, okay, and this is the funny one, because it's like even AEW fans realize that their women's division sucks balls. So they have nobody to vote for, right? Women's wrestling MVP, Bayley.
Okay, so here's my question.
Yeah.
Who had a better year, Bailey or Sasha Banks?
I say Bailey. I think that in terms of evolving her character and just being a really good heel, like you never expected Bailey to become all of a sudden the most irritating Karen ever, right? But ding dong, she did it.
Yeah, nice. I like that. I like what you did there. Bro, you're right. Like, I didn't realize for her to turn into a heel, she just had to be a Karen.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I don't think Sasha's rise would have been quite as good if not for having Bailey be the heel.
You're right. And okay, I guess, and this is maybe just me comparing, but from the Broken Skull sessions, right, I was sold on Bailey more than Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
If you watch both interviews, I just love how Bailey now she technically have two completely different characters that she has mastered, both of them.
Yep, the hugger and now the ding dong Bailey.
Yeah, and like, if nothing else, Sasha Banks evolved her character, but it's more or less the same character.
Yeah.
But not a lot of wrestlers in history have gotten two characters over. You know,
True.
Not counting Mick Foley lah. He fucking everything over lah. You know, like even like if you look at it in the current landscape, I would say maybe Finn Balor. Finn Balor gotten the Prince, the Demon over. Bray Wyatt to a certain extent got the initial Eater of Worlds over for a period of time.
Speaking of Bray Wyatt, let me just quickly bring up that Bray Wyatt is on this list somewhere. And you will be surprised where he fits on this list. But yes, please carry on.
Stay tuned. But I think I have to give credit. Okay, now I'm giving credit to the Wrestling Observer Award for them to recognize Bailey's banner year, because she carried the wrestling division through the pandemic as well. Don't forget that.
Bro, is it a case of they are actually giving her credit, or AEW literally has nobody?
That's for sure. I mean, definitely like, they fucking have nobody.
Who, right? Thunder Rosa? Friggin' Nyla, no, none of them like have stood out at all. Hikaru Shida, no. So yeah, this only makes sense.
Okay, do you agree? Do you agree that the women's division in WWE, this includes NXT, is the best in the world right now?
Say that again, in NXT?
No, the women's division in the whole WWE, like the whole women's roster in WWE, in terms of like star-studdedness, appeal and blah blah, is the best in all of wrestling right now.
Yeah, of course. Well,
even the ones in Japan, I don't think like they can hold a candle in terms of the popularity. Even in terms of the technical skills, maybe some are better, but like across the board, it's a stacked division. And we're not even talking about the girls that is currently out right now, like Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey.
Yeah. Oh my God, Becky Lynch. When is she coming back?
I don't know, man. I have no idea.
All right, let's move on now to the next awards. This is a strange one, and I guess because Dave Meltzer does report MMA as well, but best box office draw, Conor McGregor. Like, no links, yeah? Like, the guy makes like $1 million a fight, and then what, you're going to compare him to Jon Moxley?
Okay.
What the fuck?
This is interesting. He said it's Conor McGregor, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at 2020, Conor McGregor only had one match, which is that Donald Cerrone match with in January, right?
He's probably, I mean, to be fair though, he probably made more in that one match than Jon Moxley does.
yeah, that's for sure. Okay, so I guess, I think if he's looking at overall combat sports, mixed martial arts, professional wrestling, sports entertainment, then yeah.
But to compare an MMA, like, I know, like, a celebrity, like a draw is a draw, but to compare a Conor McGregor to like a Chris Jericho, it doesn't make sense.
For me, what would have been much better if they're going to follow like the theme of this award is to say the best box office wrestling draw.
Yeah. But then again, how do you know how much Drew makes? How do you know how much Roman Reigns makes? So this is a stupid
it's
category.
Hard because at least last time you can base it on the crowds.
Yeah.
And
now
the box office gate. But now I don't know.
Yeah. Feud of the year.
I saw this and I was very surprised.
I swear, like, we talked about how I'm just going to limit my F-bombs to 1 a stream, and then I've already dropped 4 because we're talking about AEW. This is an AEW heavy stream, right? But Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston. Get the fuck out of here. Like, what? Look, there is absolutely no objective way, even if you are an AEW fan, even in AEW itself, even if this was just the AEW awards, that shouldn't even be there. Agree?
Yeah, bro. It's not even a top 5 feud of AEW.
Yeah, let alone feud of the year. They literally fought each other once or twice. They argued with each other.
I looked through like the list of winners of this award.
Yeah.
Like over the last 20 years, 30 years, 10 years, right? In the 80s, it was Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant.
Sure, yeah.
Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Stone Cold, The Rock.
Yeah.
Hell, even John Cena, CM Punk was on this list.
And in 2020, John Moxley, Eddie Kingston. Hey, stop it lah. Stop it. Like, this is the most telling one. It's like, okay, you think this is an objective list? John Moxley versus Eddie Kingston. So yeah, nothing to say there. Let's move on, I guess.
I know this is not John Moxley's idea because John Moxley is not going to ask for this kind of accolade.
No, he doesn't care about this kind of stuff. But the fact that it's so obvious that fan base is so like just they only watch this one product. Oh, everything WWE sucks. Oh, AEW is the best. Like,
oh my god, I don't know what to say, man. I don't know. Oh, bro. What about Randy Orton and Edge?
Yeah.
What about Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre? Even though yes, he went a bit long. But it was a great. What about, this is my pick, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso.
Oh, I like very hipster pick, but I like that. Wait, isn't that this year though? Not last year?
No, this past year lah, 2020 lah.
I guess.
But what I meant is like, if you're talking about feud rivalry of the year, right?
Yeah.
The story behind that feud, the matches that they had, every single match was badass.
What? So you're saying that John Moxley, Chris Jericho wasn't a good feud?
Yeah. Okay. If you're talking about AEW,
AEW
John
itself.
Moxley and Chris Jericho was great. I might even dare say, and this is actually something that I'm very surprised didn't win. On AEW side, Inner Circle versus the Elite.
There you go.
To me, that match that they had, like the Stadium Stampede, was an awesome match, and it was a build up to a lot of feud because each member had a feud with each other, and it built up.
It just seems to me like there are a lot of people here just trying to be cool, trying to be hipster, and
Wrong
this
choice,
is
though.
why we have these freaking winners. All right, most improved winner Britt Baker. I'm not gonna argue about that. She
in
improved.
AEW, yes.
Yeah, in AEW. Most charismatic MJF. Okay, not gonna argue that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a funny.
He should win every year, man.
I don't know about that. This is funny. The Bryan Danielson Award, as in Daniel Bryan, best technical wrestler. See, here's the thing. I guess they came out with this award because Daniel Bryan did retire, but then he came out of retirement and he's an active wrestler. The winner is Zack Sabre Jr. You know who came in at number 2?
Daniel Bryan.
He can't even win his own fucking award.
That's like fucking funny, yeah.
That is damn funny.
Like that's like Chris Jericho coming out with the Money in the Bank but never winning Money in the Bank before.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I can't say I've watched a lot of Zack Sabre Jr. this year, so.
Okay, Zack Sabre Jr. had an amazing G1 climax. That was the only time that I kind of like was really focused on New Japan wrestling. But yeah, Zack Sabre Jr. is a great technical wrestler. Even though if I were to put him in like NXT, I think he might have a few people who is like that might match up to him really, really well. Yeah.
Okay.
You know who I want to win this match in the future? This title?
Who?
I believe someone like Drew Gulak can win this very easily. I believe someone like Shaq Gable, given the right match type, could win this. Timothy Thatcher.
A lot of the NXT folk.
Yeah.
Could step up and win that one. But I mean, it's all voted on, so nothing from the WWE is ever going to win this. Next one, Bruiser Brody Memorial Award, the best brawler. Care to guess?
Lance Archer? No, not Lance Archer.
John Moxley. Again. This one I'm not so offended with. Like, he is like technically one of the better brawlers out there.
But I mean, there is his style.
Yeah.
You know what? I won't be surprised. Like 20 years ago, Stone Cold would have won this title.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that makes sense.
Stone Cold in 1997 would have won the Bryan Danielson Award, and Stone Cold in 2000 would be the best brawler.
Yes, yeah. Wow. Okay, the best flying wrestler, Rey Fenix. Okay.
Yeah, Rey Fenix. Bro, Rey Fenix, right, is really the evolution of Rey Mysterio, though. Really. I've seen some of the things that he's done. It's crazy, man.
But then Rey Mysterio doesn't botch quite as much.
Maybe he needs to learn how to speak English, lah. Then he know how to actually like, hey, get out of the way, get out of the way.
I find it funny that the award is called Best Flying and not Best High Flyer. So technically, even if Ray Phoenix does botch stuff, he's still flying. He just miss. He's technically still flying, so it works.
That's a good analogy, bro.
Okay,
he can fly.
Here we go. Most overrated. Okay, this is quite divisive. All right, and I'm not surprised that this audience didn't like this character. But Bray Wyatt. Now we've talked about how we enjoy the Fiend's work, Bray Wyatt's work, right? Isn't this just a case of AEW hardcores hating on WWE?
I wouldn't say he's the most overrated wrestler in all of wrestling. I can name at least 3 people who in WWE who's more overrated than him.
Sure, go ahead.
Braun Strowman.
Okay.
Agree, right? Fucking agree, right?
No, yes, maybe.
Bro, he acts like he's like fucking like he's a big deal.
But you see, that's just an issue of booking. They've booked him so poorly. I feel like they're punishing him or something.
Okay, how will you define overrated then in wrestling?
Like, there's a lot of buzz about them, but they aren't really that good. But like, Bray Wyatt is a character. He found that sweet spot where he doesn't even need to wrestle. He can just do vignettes and not hurt himself, So I don't know, maybe people are salty about that. But like, you're talking about overrated, like all you need to do is look.
You know who you would vote for?
Everyone at AEW.
I can even hazard a guess specifically who you would vote for.
Go.
Cody.
Yes, that would be my vote. Okay. Highly wrestling has more than one whatever legacy family. Shut the fuck up.
Okay, you know who I will vote for, and it surprises even me.
What? Who?
I would think Jon Moxley is overrated.
I actually would agree with you.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Bro, this is against me last year, because I remember in 2019 we did the 2019 awards, Kick to the Gut awards last year.
Yeah.
And I voted Jon Moxley as my best wrestler.
Right.
Because he had a crazy year.
But
then just overexposure in 2020, man.
Yeah. Not only like overexposure, but the idea that they are like selling him as this amazing, like, he's the champion. They keep putting all the shine on him, but he hasn't done anything really that outstanding. So actually, you know what? More than Cody, I will agree with you. At least Cody is like trying to put over young talent. Mox is like, so yeah, I actually will agree with you.
Mox wasn't even the best wrestler in the Shield. I mean,
true.
So I guess he had to leave the promotion to get his own shine. Yeah. So overrated. I would say Jon Moxley, man. Yeah. The reason why I wouldn't say the Fiend is because the Fiend was so smart enough to like use this gimmick that he doesn't even actually have to wrestle. The Fiend has never had a television match the entire time he has been the Fiend. He's only had a match as Bray Wyatt wrestling on TV.
Yeah.
So you cannot say he's overexposed. And in terms of overratedness, he's not the best wrestler. Yeah. But his character is one of the most compelling on TV.
Bro, you know what this is? I mean, we've talked about this a million times already. It's a bunch of fans who don't like WWE, and everyone's talking about The Fiend. So, most overrated lah. There you go. So anyway, yeah.
Call for Dave Meltzer, man.
Well, I mean, it is his newsletter. Referee Ryan says, I thought Young's most overrated would be the Young Bucks. Oh yeah, they're definitely there. But I've said this before. It's not like they're incapable of good match. I'm not saying that they are lousy wrestlers, not by a long shot. Remember, we watched a Young Bucks match once, and I had nothing but good things to say about it. They had psychology, blah, blah, blah. It's just that they've been wrestling this indie style for so long. It's like they just want high spot, and none of the booking makes sense as it relates to them. So anyway,
maybe most overrated tag team, perhaps.
Okay, there you go. Oh yeah, definitely, with all the hype they have. Ugh. Anyway, most underrated. Okay, this is a weird one. And
I'm curious.
This could be said about a lot of wrestlers, to be honest. Ricochet.
Ricochet. You know what? Actually, I agree. But I wouldn't say he's the only one. Like, if you want to talk about underrated, where is Aleister Black on this list?
Yeah. Well, has he been injured or what happened to him?
No, he just left out of TV, bro. After the whole Zelina Vega thing happened, he got drafted to SmackDown.
Oh, yeah.
And he doesn't done shit since he was in SmackDown.
Poor guy. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay, I guess the whole idea of being underrated is people don't give him enough props, but I feel like the indie wrestling scene or the internet wrestling community does give him props. So I don't think he's underrated.
You're talking about Ricochet?
Yeah. Like underrated would be someone, to me anyway, how I understand that word is like someone who doesn't get a lot of props, but actually is putting a lot of work in. And you know who I would pick as the most underrated?
In his WWE?
WWE.
Cesaro?
No. Actually, yeah, he would rank up there. Look, I purpose. Like, here's the thing. I'm not going to pick someone for AEW because everyone in AEW thinks that everyone in AEW, all the wrestlers, are great. And just not getting their shine in the WWE. Actually, it makes sense that they picked the WWE guy because to AEW fans, WWE misuses their talent, which they do. But it's not surprising that they picked a WWE guy. To me, the most underrated is The Miz. Like when you talk about someone who really doesn't get props.
You know what? I agree. I agree.
Yeah. Like
honestly, the Miz has been like consistently great at what he does since 2016.
But people still shit on him when he wins the title. Oh, he doesn't deserve it. Stuff like that, you know? Like I would rank Baron Corbin as well up there, but I don't think he's like had that sort of pivotal moment yet. But The Miz did. He essentially, if you think about this current title scene, right? He is the pivot. Like you couldn't have Drew drop it to Lashley. You had to give it to somebody that people wanted or would buy as like a chicken shit. I want to see him lose, and that had to be The Miz.
Yeah, you brought a great point, bro. And like you said that he lasted for only a week, but you know what? I would say the one guy that kind of is finally getting his just due now, but I think he's been underrated for a long time is Lashley. So it's like he underrated guy giving props to another underrated guy, you know. I would say he's the most deserving of being a champion for a very long time. Actually, ever since he came back 2018 when he had his whole like Lashley like when he first came back, got to the main roster, I thought he was just straight away gonna fight Roman Reigns, straight away gonna fight Brock Lesnar straight away. But he floundered, man, for a while.
Well, I think that is because he just needed the right mouthpiece, and now he has the perfect mouthpiece and faction in MVP, right? Leo Rush was just annoying.
He just had to wait like 3 years for MVP to come back to WWE.
Div Royalty agrees, saying The Miz is awesome.
Nice. Good to know.
Yes, Corbin is too good as a heel. So there you go.
But I don't disagree that Ricochet is not given the love that he deserves.
But here's the thing. This is the most underrated, not most underused category.
That's a good way of framing that, bro.
Yeah.
That's a good way.
And you've heard my criticisms about Ricochet before. Like beyond an awesome selling guy, what is he? High flyers are a dime a dozen. You know?
He's a Latino. I don't think he's even Latino. He's like black, I think.
Yeah, what the hell? He just changed his race all of a sudden. Div Royalty brings up a very good one. I was thinking about him as well. John Morrison. This one is underrated and underused, both.
You know what's interesting? 10 years ago, everyone was saying that John Morrison is going to be the breakout star between The Miz and John Morrison.
Yeah.
Now he's the underrated guy and The Miz is a superstar.
Yeah. Wow. But still an underrated superstar. But remember last week we were talking about John Morrison and why he just fundamentally cannot make it to that next level. Because of his character.
Because the way he feels like a performer than a fighter, like a wrestler, you know.
Like even The Miz is more of a fighter. Like I can believe his moveset more so than John Morrison.
Maybe John Morrison needs to fight in a hardcore match against like a brawler, like fucking somebody who can beat his, like he needs to fight Brock Lesnar or something and then survive.
Yeah. And do some cool parkour moves and dazzle people, maybe. Yeah. But they have to make it believable. Okay, Rookie of the Year is an interesting one. And he is like literally a proper rookie because he's not a wrestler and he became a wrestler for 1 or 2 matches. Pat McAfee.
You know, I like that choice.
Yeah, I won't argue with that because to be honest, like when you say Rookie of the Year, right? A lot of these wrestlers have been wrestling in the indies for many, many years. Technically, they're not rookies.
But Pat McAfee literally picked up wrestling probably like this past year.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe, and just like killed it, man.
Yeah, I won't disagree with this one. This one is actually a good choice. Can you imagine 2021 awards? Rookie of the Year, Shaq.
Hey, you know, gotta give props to Shaq. If for those of you who didn't watch AEW today, so he had a match, right? Tag team match with Jade Cargill against Cody and the one that looks like Brandy, but it's not Brandy. It's like he literally just copy paste another black woman that looks like my wife.
Yeah, because Brandy got pregnant, so she got wrestled, so she just filled in. He took a big table bump.
He had a great performance. I mean, for his limitations, he was really entertaining as a big man heel. He gave a sweet power bomb to Cody.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, he took that badass bump at the side. So I'm surprised that he took that bump. So
question: why is an attraction like him on a free show? Why is he not on Revolution?
Well, obviously, the story of that match is not him. It's the girl. They're making Jade Cargill.
Jade Cargill is not on Revolution as well. Look, the point of paying for a pay-per-view is to see things that we will not see on free TV, correct? So why would you put Shaq, who is a draw, like he's an NBA legend, and he's wrestling? Why would you have him on the show before the pay-per-view? That makes zero sense whatsoever. Are they trying to just beat NXT at this point?
I think that makes sense, and I will explain to you why.
Okay.
If you're a Shaq fan and you're curious to watch him wrestle, why would you want to pay? Like you're not a wrestling fan. I'm just talking about just a casual fan. You're a basketball fan. You like Shaq, and then suddenly you hear, "Hey, Shaq is gonna wrestle," and then what if I tell you, "Oh, yeah, you wanna watch him wrestle? You go pay $29.90." That's like, for fuck. Yeah, I'm a fan of him, but I'm not gonna pay money to watch him wrestle. It's gonna be shit, what? But the curiosity factor is still there. Therefore, maybe AEW is thinking, you know what? Put it on free TV, but put it on the show right before their big pay-per-view. So then you go and watch. First match already, AEW on Dynamite is really that Shaq match.
Yeah.
So like these casuals all like, oh, okay, nice. I can watch it very fast, see what's up. Then I say, fuck off. Then I go and I watch. And then he's entertaining, he's interesting. Okay. And then throughout the course of the rest of the match or the show itself, they're hyping the pay-per-view for Revolution.
I get your idea, but also there is a flaw in this booking. If that were the case, then you put your draw, which is Shaq, right? You put it in the middle or the end, not at the freaking start. That makes zero sense whatsoever. Because if you're going to sell something, you're going to sell it like, yes, Shaq is going to have his very first match. Shaq is going to be in action, but you don't know when. Not the very first match. If you want people to tune in and be like, oh, when is Shaq coming on? You don't tell them when Shaq is coming on. You put it somewhere in the middle or the end of the card so people are forced to watch from the start. And then while they're watching, that's when you put in your other stuff to sell the pay-per-view. So even by that logic, it's poorly booked.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree that they should have put that as a main event as opposed to the big money match.
Yeah, like wow, I mean? That ended in a big schmoz.
Yeah, like I would definitely have wanted to have that Jade Cargill that dream match as like one of the main selling points of the show. But my problem is, and this goes back to AEW's booking. Yes, Shaq is the draw. That might open up new eyes to watch this particular episode. It might be an opportunity for them to promote the pay-per-view. But his feud with Cody doesn't lead to any highlight of a match that Cody is going to be in, which is the face of the Revolution match, right?
No, nothing to do with it.
You know what would make more sense? If on commentary, instead of Scorpio Sky commentating on the other match, he should be commentating on this match.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's going to be, at least there's some promotion to the match. So I guess it's a good showcase of Shaq, but for what purpose, to what end, a bit of a waste.
Bro, this goes back to the whole booking of AEW. It's rubbish. It's just they're just throwing shit out there to see what sticks. There's no real plan here.
You know what this reminds me of?
What?
Remember that one random episode of Dynamite where Mike Tyson came out?
Yeah.
Never to be seen again.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is exactly it.
Didn't they sell that though? They promoted that, right?
They promoted him appearing on
And
okay, now I know. Double or
pay-per-view.
Nothing
Yeah.
was when they debuted the TNT Championship, and Mike Tyson was the one that was debuting it.
And when he showed up, it was the last segment of the free show. I don't know. Maybe Shaq had prior engagements. He can only be here till this time, so he better do the first. Whatever it is, it was just, to me, it was just not. It just made zero sense. And you know what?
Yeah.
You know what? I actually watched AEW late today. So most people are not going to tune in at exactly 9 on the dot. When I tuned in, freaking that match was over already. So I'm like, that's so dumb. You had a headliner match. You should have put it somewhere in the middle so people can. Anyway.
But
God.
do you admit that one of the reasons that you watched Dynamite today, you also were curious to see that Shaq match?
Actually, no, not really. I didn't care.
No, okay, so you just watched just for the sake of watching it.
Yeah,
AEW.
for the sake of watching. Like, to me, it's like, okay, yeah, Shaq is a legend basketball player, but at this point, it's like not as relevant as, let's say, if he did this when he was still playing with the Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Oh well. But all I can say is I was a bit disappointed. There wasn't any Paul White running to face Shaq.
I mean, hopefully that could be a pay-per-view down the line. Paul White versus Shaq. I mean, they've talked about it for years, right?
Yeah. They should.
Let's move on. Best non-wrestler, Taz. All right, as a faction leader, I suppose that works.
Okay. On the very same token, I would say MVP.
But MVP is a wrestler. He wrestled last year, so it doesn't count.
Who else would be a great personality? Tony Khan.
Oh God! Don't worry, Tony Khan is still coming on this list. Okay, this is literally the worst, most egregious. Okay, maybe this is not the most egregious bias, but best TV announcer.
Really?
Guess
okay.
Who?
Guess. Well, you can't be giving a middle finger to Tony Schiavone because he was a great announcer. Oh my God, I know what.
Who?
I know who.
Who?
Excalibur, is it?
Oh yeah, of course.
No wonder you give middle finger.
The Smarks love X. He is the voice of the Smarks.
You gotta give the people what they want.
Give them proper commentary. How about that?
Bro, NXT even, I think even in NXT, Wade Barrett already has surpassed.
Yeah. So, and this is not me trying to angkat WWE's balls. You know, I'm a fan and everything, but like, I dare say, even the freaking what's that? Vic Joseph is better than Excalibur, for crying out loud.
I think Vic Joseph is really modeling himself after Mauro Ronaldo in a good way. Like, he's taking a lot of things that Mauro Ronaldo probably invented him.
Yeah. Actually, he just looks and sounds like a Michael Cole, to be honest, who is criminally underrated. By the way, talking about underrated, right? I don't know why people shit on Michael Cole so much. I think in about 20 years, when Michael Cole retires, people will be like looking back going, oh man, Michael Cole was awesome.
You know, most people forgot that Michael Cole was also part of Attitude Era. And he actually called a lot of great moments in Attitude Era.
Like, I mean, obviously, everyone has sort of a learning curve, and maybe he was like this nerdy fella to begin with, and then people like always, make fun of him. But like, he's also been part of a lot of storylines. He's turned heel.
He's made a lot of iconic calls.
Yeah.
A lot of people forgot that the one where Mankind won his first title was Michael Cole calling the match. Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle main event at WrestleMania, it was Michael Cole and Taz. He was a voice of a lot of very great moments, and people forget or take him for granted because he's been there for a very, very long time.
And he is very good at setting up the scene. He's very good at leading Corey Graves in, because that's his partner now. And Corey Graves is another one that's really, really good.
Yeah. Someone who's really, really good, even though he's like very recent to the commentary booth, Samoa Joe.
Oh my God, yes. Actually, I would put Samoa Joe right there as best TV announcer. I mean, okay, maybe TV announcer needs to be like a play-by-play guy, and Samoa Joe is more of a color.
Yeah. But what I like Samoa Joe a lot is, I guess, when he reminds me of who's that heavyweight? Daniel Cormier on UFC commentary.
Yeah.
Like, he is the equivalent. Why I say so is like, he's that veteran voice, veteran wrestler who became a commentator, who you will trust his expertise.
Yes.
Because of that, you're interested to see his insight into certain things and all that. And when he gets really excited or like he's hyping up, right? He has this very aggressive, like almost like guttural call, like, and he's coming with the kick. And I kind of like it. It's a signature almost.
And He's actually funny. He's very funny. He has these one-liners that are witty.
Oh my god.
He would just throw it in there and they just put Byron Saxton down. Byron Saxton is there to be a punching bag lah.
Bro, do you remember this call? I can't remember which exact episode of it.
Yeah.
But last year, right, he made a reference to Wendy on commentary.
Is it?
Okay, I can't remember exactly when. But I think it was something to do with like AJ Styles. I think around the Undertaker feud. This one I can't remember. But there was this situation where AJ Styles got injured or got sent home or something. And then he was saying like, we wish AJ Styles a speedy recovery, and I hope he's spending great quality time with his wife. And then right, Tom Phillips or what continued talking lah.
Yeah.
And then Samoa Joe just stared at the camera and just was smiling like, yeah, I hope he's doing well with his wife. They're like,
throwback.
Like, this motherfucker.
Wendy, oh Wendy.
You know what I mean? Like I like his that sadistic the wink at the camera kind of vibe. Yeah. Because we know he's a badass. Remember when he stood up for Dominic Mysterio? Also?
Yeah. He totally sold it. It totally worked. So I would put a multitude of people there ahead of Excalibur, even Tony Schiavone, who, when he first started, I will say this, when Tony Schiavone first got added to the commentary booth, right, he felt like he was like not here, not there, but now he's actually, I feel, the glue that holds this three-man team together. You have JR, the old veteran, you have Excalibur, the smart machine, and you have Tony Schiavone, the play-by-play guy, the guy who sets up everything.
I think Tony Schiavone is like AEW's Michael Cole in a way. Yeah. Like he's the guy that kind of, because he doesn't just do commentary, like he's going to the ring, conducting interviews, he's doing a lot of like promo and hyping up matches. Yeah. I like his voice because his voice is very steady, bro. Yeah. Like you feel comfortable with his voice. So I'm happy for him that he's gotten this second chance in wrestling.
It's Sting. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, that one is cute lah. But you know what's my favorite interaction with him, which I wish there was more of?
What's that?
Whatever he did with Britt Baker lah.
Oh yeah. That was funny stuff. Okay, let's move on. Worst TV announcer, going back to the whole underrated. Michael Cole. Shut up. Stop it. All right. This is not me being a WWE fanboy. Michael Cole is criminally underrated, and we will miss him when he stops calling the action.
Why not Dio Madin? He lasted for like fucking 3 weeks or 4 weeks, then kena kill off by Brock Lesnar, and now part of Retribution.
You mean what's his name now?
Mace.
Mace.
Yeah.
Worst TV announcer? I'm sure there are a lot worse. Have you watched Impact?
Holy shit, Josh Matthews.
I don't think Josh Matthews is that bad, but his wife is kind of rough.
No, but she's new lah, so.
Yeah, I guess. Beth Phoenix is improving a little bit, but still a little bit rough.
Maybe 2 years ago, I would have said Renee Young.
Oh.
Not because she's a bad announcer. I just think she's very ill-suited to the role.
Yeah, she's a much better like analyst.
Yeah, or like a
interviewer.
Host or
yeah.
You know why? Because if like you have iconic moments or like very intense matches, I just can't imagine her voice being the one that is like calling all these like bloody or violent moments. You know what I mean?
True,
just doesn't really ring.
Like, let me draw a parallel. It's like having having Mean Gene as a commentator. If you think about it.
Mean Gene doesn't work as a commentator. And he's never done that job.
But as a backstage interviewer,
amazing.
Legend. All right, let's move on. Best wrestling show or best major wrestling show, AEW Revolution from last year. Okay, yeah, sure, whatever.
Okay, AEW Revolution was a great pay-per-view.
It was
good. But I don't know what else they're comparing it to.
I don't know
what? I would say WWE's best wrestling show last year.
Yeah.
To me, it's Royal Rumble.
Isn't Rumble in January though?
Yeah lah. We're talking about 2020, right?
Oh, as in last. Oh yeah, the one where Drew won.
Yeah, the very well booked Royal Rumble match.
Yes, yeah, I agree. Actually, yeah, that's a very good point.
And the fans there, Ages Return.
Yeah.
Even some of like the undercut matches were great, man. So I miss
worst major wrestling show. Okay, this one
Super Showdown. Let me guess.
Yeah, we can all agree on this. Super Showdown. There you go.
Bro, fuck that.
No need to talk.
Fuck that.
Okay, this is just a stupid category. Best wrestling maneuver. Kenny Omega's One-Winged Angel. Okay, no need to talk about. Because it's like, what? They're like a million in one. How about a punch? Right hand. That's a good wrestling maneuver. if done well. Any wrestling maneuver when done well is a good. So to have a category for this is like self-wang. Anyway, most disgusting promotional tactic. Okay, this is another like, let's shit on the WWE as much as possible. Let's try to be as hipster as possible. WWE firing people during a pandemic, during a year where they were setting profit records. Okay, first of all, it's by promotional tactic, I mean, I guess they mean tactic or
something that they did in the promotion.
A promotion has done, because they didn't promote the fact that they fired people. It just happened, right?
Yeah. You know what? I thought the definition of it, and to bring up your point, is that they were doing something like promoting a match or an event, and they did something that is like dastardly, like
distasteful,
like they exploited someone's death.
Yeah.
To promote,
So this to me doesn't make sense. It's just like most shitty behavior. Like what?
Okay. Okay. It's fucked up. Yes, what WWE was fucked up, but it's not a promotional tactic going by their definition, right?
Yeah.
So, you know what? You know what's a more discussing promotional tactic? I would say. Oh, you know what? But AEW will not be mentioned about this because they are so high and mighty, right?
What?
Carrying on the Matt Hardy Sammy Guevara match, even though Matt Hardy had a concussion.
Oh, right. Yeah. Of course, yeah. That's never going to pop up on this list.
Yeah, but that is like legitimately, objectively fucked up.
Yeah, it is. True. Worst TV show, WWE Raw, Roll My Eye.
I mean, I don't disagree that Raw sucks can be fucked up sometimes. Yes.
Last year, especially start of the pandemic, when they were trying to, there were
watch,
true. There were some really rough shows, but then again, there were rough shows all across the board. So,
have they watched an episode of Impact?
Yeah, exactly, right? Even now, Impact is struggling. So,
holy crap.
Yeah. Anyway, worst match of the year. Braun Strowman versus The Fiend. Swamp fight from the horror show at Extreme Rules. Okay, this was pretty bad, yes.
Yeah, let's agree. Okay, you know what? It's a cross between, it's a tie between that and Goldberg versus The Fiend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, an AEW match cannot show up here. Well, what about any of their women's matches? Yeah, thank you very much. Worst feud of the year, Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. It was pretty bad.
It could have had so much potential, but they just went a weird ass route. I don't know.
Most biased award. No, I'm sorry. Worst promotion of the year, WWE. Really? Like, okay, this is obvious bias right here.
WWE.
Like,
not the worst.
What about all the other promotions out there? Like, worse in what sense? Like, what kind of... This is just a... Let's shit on them because it's cool to shit on them sort of an award. This is the most egregious fucking win right here. Best Booker.
Your favorite guy.
Okay, I'm sorry, but this is just the, like, oh my god, could you possibly uncut balls and suck a dick more? Tony Khan, best booker, shut the fuck up. Seriously. We just spent the last hour and a half, actually we are hitting 2 hours already. We just spent that amount of time talking about how AEW has been inconsistent. They haven't been paying off their storylines. There have been no real proper storylines getting dropped left, right, and center. And that is all Booker's decision. How can you say Tony Khan is the best booker? What kind of bullshit is this?
You know, I would say that the best booker this past year, I would still think is New Japan's booking. Gedo.
Sure.
Like, I can always count on New Japan, right? Okay, even if like their matches are not the most high profile or what, but you can always count on them to have logical storytelling.
Right.
You know, like the booking makes sense. Like, even if they take certain risks, like, okay, Evil was a very out of left field choice, but the way they explain it was well explained. So I thought New Japan's Gedo did a really good job this year.
Yeah. To be fair, who the hell are the bookers in WWE? It's a writing team. I guess if there's anybody, you could pick Triple H and Shawn Michaels as the bookers of NXT.
Bruce Pritchard, probably for the main shows.
Yeah, Vince McMahon. I mean, technically it's Vince McMahon, right?
Yeah.
So, but to say that Tony Khan is the best booker of the year, no, that's just bias. Referee Ryan agrees, says bias AF. You know what? Best booker of 2020 to me? T.
What? Who?
T.
T. Who's
Think about it.
Test.
Oh my god, you don't get the joke. You don't get the joke.
Oh,
Booker T.
fuck off, bro.
The best Booker of the year was Booker T. I mean, can you actually argue with me?
He's the only booker lah. That's a Booker T.
Who else in the realm of booking pro wrestling shows have really stood out this past year? Nobody.
Oh my god, Booker T. I can't believe I didn't get that.
It took you a while. Okay, let's move on. Promoter of the year. Tony
Wait, so
Khan.
okay, difference between booker and promoter is a difference now.
Okay, see, this one I'm not so annoyed at because promoter of the year is someone who promotes a TV show. So he has $1 million business. He managed to get TV rights and continue, being able to run a show. So if you say Tony Khan, okay lah, even though you have a shit product, I mean, okay, it's not a shit product, especially not to these voters here, but even though you have the product being what it is, he still managed to sell it. So if that is the case, then I say yes, promoter of the year, Tony Khan, sure.
He is the promoter of the year? That's what, he won that award as well?
Yeah, he won the award. Both Booker and promoter. Booker, no. Promoter, can argue.
Yeah. Promoter of the year, yeah, I guess so.
Well, like who else? There's Vince McMahon, there's Triple H, and then there's Impact, ROH, New Japan. Yeah, I think AEW did a good job booking. Yeah.
Promoting their shows.
Yeah, not booking. There's a huge difference. Promoting their shows, yes. They leverage on their fan base. They got them hyped up. They got them to pay. But booking, no. All right, let's move on. Best gimmick, Orange Cassidy.
Let me think. I would say Roman Reigns.
Yeah, so would I. I would say somebody else, but this somebody else won worst gimmick, The Fiend Bray Wyatt.
The Fiend maintains here.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. The Fiend, at least with his gimmick, like you said, has maintained it, has put him at a level where he can continue. Orange Cassidy,
What's his ceiling?
Yeah, he's reached his ceiling with Chris Jericho, and that's it. I mean, maybe they could have pushed him more, but AEW doesn't have the right booking. Oh wait, I'm sorry, they have the best booker after all.
That's the problem. After he actually got like the rocket ship up his ass, right, by winning against Chris Jericho.
Yep.
He should have contend for the TNT Championship already, but instead.
Oh, and there you go. That's best booker of the year.
I love it. Bro, Mr. Young getting pissed off his ratings, bro.
This is stop it. This is just the most tiltifyingly biased vote. Like if this was in any way objective whatsoever, I'd be like, okay, I can buy it. If this was the AEW awards, okay, fine. But no, this is supposed to be all of pro wrestling, and this is supposed to be a guy or a group of people who are supposed to be smart. They should be in the know. They should appreciate good wrestling. But yeah, anyway, let's see. Worst gimmick, best gimmick. Okay, two more. Best pro wrestling book, Young Bucks Killing the Business, blah, blah, blah. Okay, of course.
Actually, I haven't read the book. I bought it like a couple of months ago.
Oh,
it's
really?
still sitting in my room.
You give me the book, I want to super kick it.
Let me read it first, okay? Because I fucking spent $30+ on that shit.
Oh, yeah. So you have to read it first, huh?
Yeah.
Even referee Ryan agrees. How the hell is The Fiend the worst gimmick? Oh, there have been worse gimmicks, trust me. Hey, wait, was Lana and Lashley last year? Or was it the year before? I forgot.
Nah, thank God it's 2019. So.
Oh, 19, okay. Technically not the worst then.
Bro, best gimmick, Hurt Business. Hello.
Oh, yeah. Even Revolution,
Retribution.
Retribution at the start.
Intriguing,
but okay, I guess it wouldn't be best. But yeah, Hurt Business, that's a good one. Roman Reigns and his whole tribal chief business, that's one.
Yep, head of the tribal chief. Even Randy Orton, this year he came back, had that legend killer kind of ish gimmick.
Yeah,
that was dope.
Yeah, it's not Orange Cassidy. If anything, most wasted boost to the top, Orange Cassidy. Maybe we should come up with our own awards.
We had bro last year.
Oh,
we
yeah,
should have
that's
done
true.
2021.
That's true. Okay,
but never mind. We'll do one in 2021 if wrestling gets better. Okay.
Best pro wrestling documentary, Dark Side of the Ring, Owen Hart. That one, yes, sure.
Undisputed for sure.
Well then again, the Undertaker stuff.
That's right.
But then again, you can never give credit to a WWE production if you are.
Okay, you know what? I will disagree. I would say the best Dark Side of the Ring episode is actually the Chris Benoit one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The two-parter, because I remember when I first watched it and like all the details that came out. Oh my god, I had chills, bro.
Yeah, blown away. You were blown away.
Yeah, and like just the way they laid out the story, like it felt like those like kind of true crime drama documentary. I love that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you have it. That's the 2020 Wrestling Observer Awards. I know I keep doing